Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video via social media and with your friends via email. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by Fox Business and written by Mills Hayes. The author references a recent Fox News poll that revealed 75% of Americans are concerned about the economy. What I found interesting is that this doesn't seem to be slowing down their spending, because the author went on to reference the National Retail Federation as saying a record 200.4 million consumers spent money this past holiday weekend. Around 44% of shoppers said online was their go-to destination. The NRF also indicated they have seen an uptick in buy now, pay later programs. Matthew Shea, the president and CEO of the National Retail Federation, elaborated about buy now, pay later programs and said, and I'll quote, "I think it's an example of the market being responsible to consumer needs and expectations, giving them flexibility, giving them an opportunity to manage their budget, their spending, and do controlled purchases over time." Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's my opinion. I wouldn't say buy now, pay later services are an example of the market being responsible to consumer needs and expectations. I would say this is the market capitalizing on a money-making opportunity, because businesses that offer these programs know that many everyday Americans want to keep spending even though they don't have the money to do so right now. I don't think there is anything responsible about this. I think it is like giving a kindergarten class of children as much candy as they want. Many will continue to eat more and more candy until they get sick. Many everyday Americans will use these buy now, pay later programs, and then some will be in a terrible financial situation when the money is owed. If you don't have the money to buy something right now, how are you going to have the money to pay back what is owed later, especially given the high cost of everything else in life right now? Now, there are certainly exceptions to this. Maybe someone is going to pay this money back once he or she gets a bonus from work. Maybe some people plan to pay their debts back with a tax refund. Everyone's situation is unique, but I think some everyday American consumers who use these buy now, pay later programs are just kicking the can down the road. Many are living paycheck to paycheck, and they want to buy items now, and they will worry about how to pay for them later. In my opinion, that is never a good plan. Affirm is one of the big players in this buy now, pay later space. I have seen them on Amazon for purchases over $50. A commenter here on the channel said buy now, pay later services are available for food delivery. I found a Reddit discussion where people were talking about how you can use Affirm, Klarna, or Afterpay for almost anything now. One commenter said you can use Afterpay for a Domino's pizza. Another commenter said he got McDonald's 2 weeks ago with a buy now, pay later service, and he's almost done paying it off. Another commenter said with Zilch, you can order McDonald's and pay it off in 6 weeks. I visited Zilch's UK site, and it says where MasterCard is, Zilch is, and you can pay over 6 weeks. There is information that says spend responsibly. Spending more than you can afford could seriously affect your financial status. Well, that makes me feel a lot better that they have a warning like this. It's kind of like cigarettes that have a warning which says smoking cigarettes may be hazardous to your health. I visited the Zilch US site, and it says, and I'll quote, "You can pay over 6 weeks with 0% APR, 0 fees, 0 overdraft fees, and 0 credit impact when you sign up. Or pay now and get 2% back in Zilch rewards instantly. What's not to love?" There wasn't a warning on the top of the US Zilch site like there was on the UK site. I would have thought both sites would have been similar in that regard. Surprisingly, they weren't. I'll include links to both sites in the description below. Understand I'm not endorsing this company, and I've certainly never used their programs before, and I don't intend to. On the same token, I'm not discouraging you from using them. The Zilch US site does show that you can use Zilch for popular brands, such as Nike, DoorDash, Target, Amazon, or Zara, whatever that is. That shows you how out of touch I am. I have never bought anything from Zara. I don't know anything about them. I'm old, I'm cheap, and I buy items from garage sales, Goodwill, and discount stores. I also try to wear out things that I own until they are unusable. That's why I'm still driving my 2004 Toyota Camry with nearly 400,000 miles on it. I also don't buy things unless I can afford to pay cash, with the exception of using other people's money to buy assets that provide me with a financial return. Even then, there are calculated risks involved with using other people's money. Please understand I'm not trying to discourage anyone from using these buy now, pay later programs. I understand they serve a need in some cases. Someone here on the channel in the comment section beneath one of my prior videos said he used one of these buy now, pay later programs to purchase tools with for his job. Well, good for him. I'm glad he was able to get the tools that he needed. I hope those tools will make him a lot of money. I am just concerned about everyday people who are struggling financially and are hungry, and the only option in their mind is to rely on one of these buy now, pay later programs to buy food, knowing full well that they may not be able to pay back the money when it is due. This sets some people up for financial trouble down the road. Life is incredibly more difficult when you trash your credit. It makes it more difficult to get a vehicle loan, and if you do, the interest rate will likely be a lot higher. It also makes it more difficult to rent an apartment, and in some cases it may impact your vehicle insurance in some states. Not all states here in America will allow that. Approximately 70% of GDP in the United States comes from consumer spending, and the good news is Americans are continuing to spend. Some are finding every way possible to do so. What do you think about that? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Perhaps one reason why buy now, pay later programs are so popular is because so many Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and not just the working poor in this country. I read an article today on Yahoo Finance put out by MoneyWise and written by Sarah Lewis titled, "An Economic Divide That is Widening." Almost 1/3 of Americans earning $150,000 a year or more say they're living paycheck to paycheck, and many rely on credit cards to close the gap. According to the author, data from a survey conducted earlier this year by personal finance software company Quicken revealed that 32% of Americans earning at least $150,000 a year are currently living paycheck to paycheck, while 36% of folks earning $50,000 to $150,000 and 55% of households earning less than that also reported the same. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. How scary is that? Those are some disturbing percentages from my perspective, but I'm not surprised given the high level of inflation that everyday Americans have been dealing with in recent years. While energy was down on the last CPI report that I reviewed, shelter and food were both up. Two of the things that most everyday Americans need to survive have continued to get more expensive. This impacts many people across different income brackets. I have no doubt that lifestyle creep is resulting in higher earners living paycheck to paycheck. As people earn more, they often want to drive a nicer vehicle or live in a nicer house or take more expensive vacations or buy more expensive clothes. It is unfortunate that more people don't try living beneath their means so they can have some sense of financial security and perhaps financial independence someday. For me, I am a lot more interested in financial security and financial independence than I am a fancy car or expensive brand name clothes. Getting back to the article, the author referenced Eric Dunn, CEO of Quicken, who said, and I'll quote, "Our research shows an economic divide that is widening among Americans. There is a large group of hardworking people who are still struggling financially." Well, in my opinion, just because you work hard does not mean that you won't struggle financially. You need to learn how to manage your personal finances and live within your means, or ideally beneath your means. This is something that far too many Americans don't know how to do because financial literacy is lacking in this country. Many schools either do not offer or do not require a financial literacy course. In some cases, you can learn abstract concepts in school that you may never use in your career or in life. But financial literacy, which is critically important in life, is often not taught. The author of this article went on to report some frightening information about credit card usage. The Quicken survey found that 46% of higher income groups are more dependent on their credit cards than they've ever been, compared to just 40% of middle and 39% of lower income groups. About a third of folks earning $150,000 a year or more also admitted they won't be able to pay off their balances before the end of the year. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is not good news. It troubles me that 46% of higher income groups are more dependent on their credit cards than they ever have been. My heart goes out to all Americans who are in a financial situation where they're depending on their credit cards more than they ever have been before. This is not a good situation for those who are rolling over that debt month after month after month. Given the high level of interest being charged on credit cards, this can eventually become unsustainable for some everyday Americans. I hate to see people get into this debt cycle. Now, I understand some of this can't be helped, but I suspect some of this comes down to choices that people make. In my opinion, some individuals need to constrain their spending and forego items that are not absolute necessities in life. There was a commenter beneath this article that aligns with my thinking on this matter. The commenter named Mike said, and I'll quote, "How many folks buy a not needed $70,000 truck or car on credit that could easily make it with a $30,000 new truck or $25,000 new car or a $15,000 used vehicle? Some of this poor living hand to mouth is poor cash management, and part of that is not factoring depreciation as a real expense. Plus, you can factor this logic to clothing, furnishings, and other consumer items. Depreciation can easily be the lion's share of a household's expense." Well said, Mike. Well said. What do you think about all of this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video via social media or via email with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.